The edge of you. I'm going to let you in a little secret about me and about you. I'm a whore, and you're a whore. And this video is now demonetized. But we're all different types of whores. I, personally, am a price-to-performance whore. That's what I love. As you look at this wall and you can see all these headphones and anything that's like a $2,000 Tim sock, it's like, that's a great headphone. But price to performance, you know, but then we move to like the cheaper stuff, and all of a sudden I get real excited. Why, Zeos? Why are you more excited about the cheap stuff than the expensive stuff? Because it's about the ratio, the golden ratio of I will spend X and I will get Y, and then Z is in the middle, jacking it. Because if the cost is super low and the Y is super fucking high, then the Z is, oh my fucking God. So you all know this headphone. Well, actually, you probably don't know this particular one. This is my hyper modded pair of KPH40 Is with the pads removed, original pads removed, and these Grado 1000 pads put on. And then the pads have been modded because the 1000 pads, while much better than the stock Grados, which I have a set over there, but you know, the felt in the front, Dekoni nugget in the back to try to keep it, because it's like, it's good. They're so fucking good. And they're so cheap. Then you got to do all this shit to them to make them better, and the wire is still attached, and it's like, KPH40. Not 40i. I want to say I so bad, but that will come later. Koss sent me a box, and Koss sent me this letter, and it says, Z Reviews, love your channel. This is from Koss, by the way. Wanted you to be the first, underline, to get your hands on our all-new Utility Series headphones, M. This is the pinnacle of Z Reviews. This is it. This is the peak. I'm done. I could fucking retire, because the new line has a detachable cable, which we'll get to that thing and why it's there and not here. The comfort went from like needing to do all that shit to needing to do nothing, and they sound better. The only thing I don't know is the price, because they're on Amazon. You can go right now. In fact, the link in the description, if you're watching this video, there's a link to the page that shows the all-new Koss Utility Series, but anytime you click on something, it's like, currently unavailable. And the rep at Koss hasn't told me what the cost yet, so I'm doing this review. Now, let me see, did he get back to me? DHL, no. Oh, let me verify. He's going to verify. Maybe it'll happen during this video, because I'm going to cut it into several parts. But I'm imagining they're not going to be very expensive. Let's... give me a second. Spin, 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 spin. Here we are. Okay. Here are the 30i. Now, I'm going to get to the new PortaPro utility and the new KEB90, which sounds like a fake name for an IEM. Those will come. Timestamps. Do whatever you want to do. These are what I was considering the pinnacle of anything Koss has ever made. Koss has been around for 2,000 years, and you know, they did the Pro 4 AAs, which are the worst headphone I've ever reviewed, by the way. If you want to look for the worst headphone I've ever reviewed, go back and watch that review. Not the Pro 4 AAA, 3As. 3As was actually good. I liked it. Oil filled, sounded good, built really well. The reissue of the original Pro 4 AA, the one that they're known for in their logo, that there is a Pro 4 AA, which you should not be proud of, was the worst piece of trash. And when Serial burned it, I was like, you know what? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But this, the KPH40i Clear, specifically the Clear, for the softer plastic and for the slight change in sound, just the slightest change of sound. And I wasn't even sure how they made the change in sound, but it's a change in sound. And this is the best thing they've ever made. And it looked like this, and it was like, oh, prison headphone. It's kind of cheap. The pads are real stiff foam that basically sucks, and they don't have much. The plastic twisted, nice silicone head strap, and then there was like this silicone ring here, which is supposed to let the the actual cup articulate, but it was never enough clamp to make it actually do that. And this was their offering with the attached wire, with the 3.5mm 4-pole with the little strain relief, and there's a little microphone push button thing, and this was the best thing they made. $30 on Amazon, $20 if you got it on sale or on drop. Now, it took a little bit of modification to get into like an everyday usable headphone as far as comfort goes, but fucking worth it, because the pads are 10 and the nuggets are 20 for 2 and then or 20 for 4. So this is what we're starting out with. This is the 30i. This is what they had to do better then. And what Koss did was remove all the bullshit. If they watch my channel, they know what I complain about, and they could just take notes. Every company can do this. Every company should do this, because why wouldn't they? Okay, what did Zeos complain about? The pads, the foam is too fucking stiff. This is soft, slightly thick. It's fucking soft. It's soft. But then they made the cups actually, or if you want to call it a cup, actually smaller. They're a smaller end round instead of like that size. So wait, we're going down. Why is it so downscale? Why does it look so downscale, Zeos? This is Teflon coated stainless steel. And because it's Teflon coated stainless steel, it doesn't collect fingerprints at all. That's a thing that it does. It doesn't, it's gray, only in one color right now, but doesn't collect, that's nice metal. And because it's metal, here's the other thing. Where this had it clamped, and they told people to put over bricks, and they got the heat gun out and was trying to melt this, and sometimes it would just snap. This is the stock clamp. See where it slams together at the bottom? And this pair that I've been using for the last couple days doesn't do that, because it's metal and you can just go whoop, 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 and then you could adjust the clamp to whatever you like. The other part that used to break, this here, this would slide up and down, and I've never had a pair of mine break, ever. But people would say this would break. Well, now you've got metal on metal with a plastic insert to hold it together. There's a hair on there. Is that you, Chewbacca? You still here? I would be very satisfied if Chewbacca hair kept showing on my stuff for the rest of my life. Just where is this cat hair coming from? It's not a clicky one anymore. It's just a smooth slide, but it's a friction slide. It's actually pretty hard to adjust once it's on your head. You can just take it off, mind the gap. Little blue L circle, little red R circle, and you adjust it. And then when you have it tensioned on your head, the metal versus the metal, and it just doesn't move. Then the most important thing. So making the pads smaller means they're still on here, obviously. Actually, this is too small to fit a Grado pad. Grado pad just flops over this. It's like a hot dog down a hallway. But the articulation of this is where the comfort comes in. Right here in this motion. And I could yank one of these off because I've done it before. And it's basically the same. People have been doing this for a while. What's the most popular Grado mod? The KEB90 headband mod. People would take the ones that clip over your ears. I have them in the corner here. Hold on. They're behind the gypsy fucking curtain. These headphones, which obviously are running Yaxi pads, which, oh my God, please Yaxi, make even softer pads for this with perforations through them. So this is a lot of people's favorite Koss. I'm a KPH30i guy. A lot of people are KEB90 guys. And what this did was it clipped over your ear like this, and then it just stayed there like an IEM, sort of, maybe. And this bit popped off, similar to how I popped that off. And what they would do is they would take these drivers and these things, and they would put them on other random cheap metal headbands from Amazon or whatever the fuck they got them from. So Koss just said, you know what? Fuck it, that's a good idea. So here's your driver with your, it's an attached, it's a flat wire. It's not a normal wire. It's a flat wire. It's a linguine wire. And it just goes and it pops in here, which you're not supposed to take this out. But that's it. And then it just articulates in up and down. Oh, I did put it in wrong. Or I broke it. Please tell me I didn't break it. Please tell me I didn't break it. Where does that go in? Yeah. Nope. Did I fuck this up? Oh, I might have been pushing it in too far. Hold on. Please don't break it on the camera. Please don't break it on the camera. Up, down. There we go. Okay. Up, down, left, right. Look at that. Look at that beautiful fucking rotational articulation. So you now have a headphone with an adjustable clamp, which I showed you how to bend it. Adjustable height, which stays, that shouldn't break. It's fucking stainless steel. Like, it's literally 3 pieces of metal. An articulation, and the small pads. And I'm like, well, the small pads are going to be worse. No, the small pads are better. Because if this was my ear, I know I can't show you my ear, where this fucking thing would sit on it and touch all sorts of parts of my ear with its stiff assness. This just hits the right spot and levels perfectly. These are insanely comfortable headphones. Like, these are pretty fucking uncomfortable. I actually used these for a live stream yesterday. The raw original ones. And I took it off when I was like my ears. But these just sit. And because they sit on your ear and you're willing to put them on your ear, they cover enough of the opening that it covers the entire opening. I can still hear perfectly through it. It's not blocking any sound. But they seal better. And they make low end happen because it seals better. So if I next track this, Carrie Noble's not exact. Oh. Acquaintance be. Get that version. If they changed no sound, if the sound didn't modify at all and they just changed the build, this is like a 300% Zeos hype fucking video. But they sound better. The words, Zeos, I already own KPH40 I Clear. Do I? Yes. Get these instead and throw these fuckers in the trash. Well, no, give these to someone who doesn't have anything that's worthwhile, because these are still better than 90% of headphones that anybody has. Maybe 95% of headphones anyone has. And then these are better than those. And they're probably, because I don't know the price, going to be, I mean, they've literally gone from plastic to metal, which is a good upgrade, but look how much smaller it is. It looks like Guardians of the Galaxy level fucking smallness. In fact, all it needs is the orange fucking pads. They've fixed the articulation. They fixed the softness of the pads. They've fucking improved the sound. You fucks don't get it. I didn't think that was possible. I brought my modified set to Capital Audio Fest with the either the Shippable or Dekoni makes Grado pads for Grado, but I shoved them on the, obviously I put them on the fucking KPH30Is. And you know, with these marvelous pads and the thing on all my equipment that I brought, I was like, people were like, yeah, no, this is a $500 headphone. These sound better with no modifications. That's the selling ticket. This is the Christmas stuffer fucking item for everyone. God damn it, fuck. Destroyer, Bay of Pigs, Detail, Kaput. I don't know what this song is, but I'm going to listen to it. I thought it lost soundstage compared to like, it probably loses a little bit of soundstage compared to the monster fucking Grado Extendo pads, which push the drivers so far away from you. But they're still soundstage. Like better than than any IEMs, probably. This is like, I don't feel them. Where are they? On my head? Did I lose them? Oh, fuck. We got to talk about the wires and stuff, but we're gonna get through the fucking 40s. I want to call them the 40Is so bad. If anything, they'll be the 40Zs. Actually, if you make a 40Zs version, Koss, I want the pads to be red and blue. Red on the right, blue on the left. Thanks. The low end is just... It's like, how are you doing that with an open headphone? Because it's better than most open headphones. Not better than the other Koss. Fuck the original Koss shit now. Now we're talking about everything. Because they're right. They're so close to the opening of the canal of your ear that it's not even worried about like, oh, a cup goes over it and then it sits out there and you have these giant planar drivers that move. It's just basically an almost in-ear headphone. Because this little fucking circle of... Here, you want to see how small a circle is? It's fucking like 50% the size of that. It almost wants to be an IEM. It's just basically like, I don't know, make it smaller. The smaller this is, the less this shape of your ear matters. Because it's just covering a hole at this point. And it covers that hole comfortably. And then it just delivers sound. Creamy, beautiful... pianos, vocals, I've not been able to figure out what's bad about it. And if you haven't noticed, I'm using it on my phone, which I know my Sony phone has a headphone jack out, but I'm using it on USB-C because the point of the utility series is Koss finally figured out that, you know what, phones stopped having 3.5mm ports. Well, shit. So now every headphone comes with a 3.5mm wire, but you can go buy the Lightning or the USB-C cable, which, by the way, these are wrapped in a circle so as they're not janky, yet all the wires that come with each individually that are 3.5mm are janked. This is how you ship a jank wire. I wish companies would just stop, because as soon as you take this little thing off of it, it's just like, Now, again, all of these are linguini wires or flat wires, which are much harder to get tangled up. They don't get tangled up. Like, you can tie a knot in it, and sometimes it gets like a loop like that going on, but then it just pulls out. So flat wires are bay, and this is great. Here's what the head is terminated in. So you get the 3.5mm to go in to a phone or an amp. Like, the fucking Solaris is on, and it's hooked up to the other pair because I was checking to see if it scaled with amplification. It does. But 3.5mm, 3-pole, not 4-pole. There's no... I did that on purpose because I'm awesome. There's no microphone on the standard 3.5mm. I think that's a negative because, again, I have a phone that has 3.5mm and would totally use a 4-pin. But the interesting thing is it's terminated for the connection part where it actually terminates here. So here, I'll take out the PortaPro utilities, which, by the way, are a very interesting see-through plastic. So it's like it's adopted the clear mantra and gone with like frosted. Here's what you get on all these utility series. You get a thinner ribbon out of the headphones themselves. And by the way, soft pads on this. A thinner ribbon out of the headphones themselves into a female 4-pole 2.5mm. This son of a bitch. When you plug it in, it goes in, click. And now you have a connectivity to whatever you plugged into, whether it's 3.5 or Lightning or USB-C. This pair I'm wearing on my head currently. Connect it up. You've got your control box because it's one of the utility cords. And I brought down the little thing for this. I'm trying to structure this in a way that I could actually timestamp it, but I'm manic, so there you go. I've never seen a control box. This is plastic, by the way, so it's nice and light. It doesn't add much weight to it. It keeps it pretty close, like it's up here. It fucks with the microphone for being able to be perfectly heard because it is on the back here, whereas this was like that far from your ear, which is like where a cell phone microphone would be. This is 2.5 times further down. And people have, not on phone calls, but in my Discord, if I'm saying a voice message on Telegram, the microphone is quieter than it would normally be. Also, when I'm in phone calls using the USB-C, the microphone is open, so I can hear it scratching against my shirt, which is kind of weird. But so the utility wire, here's the USB-C utility wire. Let's review the utility wire now for a second. USB-C ribbon, noodle ribbon, up to a plastic box, which I had to really check because it's like, it feels solid as hell. Strain release on both ends, 3 buttons, positive, negative, and a dimpled center. You will never fuck this up. This is chunky, and that's perfect because I can reach down without looking, and I know if I'm going up, I'm going down, I'm hitting the middle. Here's the controls for that. Up, single press incremental volume, down, up, long press, fast volume. So here, I don't have to have it plugged in. Volume, volume, volume presses, volume, volume, volume down, or hold and it shoots all the way down, and hold and it shoots all the way up. The standard push button to play or pause in the center. And then double press, which, by the way, these are really tough buttons. Like, you have to really, it's kind of good. You'll never accidentally hit them. You've got to like squeeze this son of a bitch. Double press for next track, triple press for last track. You hold it down for assistant, and then I've never seen this before, and I can't get it to work. I don't know if it's just going to be a Apple Lightning thing, or if only certain apps support it, but Fubar doesn't support it, and Spotify doesn't. But apparently you can fast forward and rewind with this. I've never seen that in a wire before. It's supposed to be, again, all this is center button. Answer phone calls, terminate calls, voice assistant. It's supposed to be single press and hold to fast forward, and it just brings up the voice assistant. No, go away. And then double press and hold for rewind. I can't get that to work. Please, someone, when you eventually get this, what apps make it fast forward? Because there's just some intros to songs that are too long, and I'm just like, or it'd be great if you were listening to a podcast and you just want to fast forward and not jump to the next track. So yeah, the utility wires is the same for the Lightning or the USB-C as far as this control box. Again, don't know how much these cost. Have fun clicking the links in the description and see if they show up. Let's move to the PortaPro. I'm going to pause to do the IEMs because I only listened to those for like 5 minutes, and I've listened to these 15 fucking hours in the last 2 days, and I've listened to these 5 hours in the last 2 days. Build. If you've never seen a PortaPro in your life, let me show you how it works. So this is designed to be portable and fold, and then there's a little hook that goes here, and then you adjust this little metal thing here to adjust the headband, which get this to not crash into each other. There we go, and you can make this into a little tiny ball. Look at it. It's adorable. It's adorable. It comes with a little bag. Look at the little bag. And it fits a little adorable headphone. It's like the most portable, except if you go for KSC75s, which these are not in the utility series, because I think they're going to make Bluetooth versions of these. Holy shit. The world's going to come to a fucking end. I'm going to... Koss can just throw all these other headphones away and invest in Koss. I knew I should have kept my stock. I should have kept my stock now. Well, actually, I should buy more. Wait, can I buy stock and then do this review? Is there SEC going to say something to me? Probably. Anyway, so this is what they're designed to do. They're designed to turn into a ball. And with a detachable cable, it's an even smaller ball. But then you unlatch it and you open it up, and it's still a little bit fucking weird. Like, they're not normal looking headphones. You push your two pieces of metal together, which I think I'm happy to inform you all, because this was one of my major complaints, is because you have a big fat band of metal, which this, by the way, does collect fingerprints. This is not the same stainless steel as that, but it's not Teflon coated. But there's two pieces of metal sliding against each other very closely, and my biggest complaint with these before was your hair can get caught in here, but I think they've made the bands smaller, so it won't fit people whose ears are gills. But when I'm wearing them, I only have like that much. Hold on, let me see. No, even less than that. Wait. Yeah, when I'm wearing them, this is the amount of space there is to catch my hair. I'm pretty sure on the older ones, it was more along the lines of like that much space. It was a lot more likely to catch it. But push it together again. Let me show you how these work. There are pads here, which are temple pads, and then pads for your ears. And again, we're doing the same beautiful movement, up, down, left, right, you know, real good articulation to get it to fit on your ear comfortably. Softer pads. Certainly softer than the originals. Same softness. Actually, yeah, I would call those the exact same pads. Hell, they could be the exact same fucking driver. In fact, I'm going to do that, and then I could take this off of here. Wow, look at that. Zeos is doing some shit. So this is my left side, right? We're modifying everything today. Oh, come on, fit in there better. These have to be the same thing, right? I mean, they don't have to be. Oh, shit. There we go. So now I have my red and blue, which let me make sure I'm not twisting the wires because you're about to permanently attach them. So now I can listen to this like this and listen to the other ones like that. But essentially, I really shouldn't have done that in the middle of this review. I'm sorry, but my scientific mind's a dick sometimes. But wow, they could sell upgraded drivers and just keep the frame you like. But what these pads do is the pads are meant to sit in your temples, and then you adjust this slider here, which is a spring-loaded slider, which is currently spring loads back to firm. So when this tries to sling out, it stops. If you pull this slider back, it's spring-loaded, there's 3 different notches. You pull it all the way over, it goes to light, which makes that swing up and further away from your ear. So this is supposed to touch your head, which it kind of doesn't on my head. I feel like if this was another 1/4 inch longer, it'd be more effective. And then that's supposed to hold the weight of the headphone off your ear, and then you can adjust click or click how much it's pushing in your ear. which if you get the 40s and just bend the metal, you could adjust that also. You could also bend the metal to get closer, but then you adjust it out and do that, and you adjust it out and do that, and now you have it sitting far away from your ears or farther away from your ears, and you can adjust the comfort. But since you can see that this is what it does now, what's this plugged into? Nothing? That's illegal. We got to plug you into something. Hold on a second. We've got, there's an adapter. Let's go right into the dark voice, which I have to swap that out for the TA26 at some point. So am I actually judging the sound of the PortaPros now? Because the driver's identical. Like the holes in the back, it's just a matter of the plastic. So I'm imagining that I don't know if there's a different sound. I think you just pick whichever one fits you best. By the way, this is now my new headphone because it's red and blue. Sorry, Koss. I've already fucking things up, but I'm assuming everything on this table is going to be so cheap. You're just going to be able to go and buy them all for like $70. $70 should get you one of these, and the cable you need. All right, you know what? I'm going to stop the video for a second, compare the set I've modified to this. Actually, no, I'm going to modify both of these sets because this one doesn't need to be tight anymore. See, look, just give it a wiggle. Ah, look at that. Look at that. It's going to rest beautifully. If I was going jogging or running and I really needed it to be tight, I wouldn't have done this, but it's like I'm just chillaxing on a plane or something. So now, pause. Instead of trying to compare listening to the PortaPros versus the 40s, I'm going to take the fucking feel out of it. We have two identical builds. I'm going to plug them both into the USB cable, which, by the way, I should probably mention the fact that this sounds great, and this doesn't have DSP correction in it. I was like, oh, they're making a USB cable for it. Is it going to be DSP correction for the driver? And he's like, I don't think so. And how could they? Because it's going to not 2, which may have identical drivers, but 3 units, unless I'm hearing the adjustment via the IEMs, because the IEMs are obviously different. It's using the same cable. Also talk about future modding companies. I'm talking about Hard Audio and Periapt and Viking Weave and Apos, and who else is making cables now? Linsol's got those triple wins. You can expect, I think, since this is 4-pole, I think that means they're running individually to the drivers, which means when you use the USB, it's very possibly a balanced amplifier in here. And it also means that if you wanted to, you can balance KPH40s and PortaPros and the IEMs by just building a custom wire. You just have to have a 4. It's very, very rare. Of all the wires I fucking have, there is no such thing as a balanced Pentacon or XLR to male 2.5 millimeter 4-pole. That just doesn't exist in my life right now. But I guarantee you after this video, it's gonna. I'll do some testing to make sure that it's actually doing that. There's no other reason. There's no other reason to have 4-pole here if you're not running individual left and right, positive, negative to each side. Because you could just do the ground in here and have a 3-pole, and you did, but they did 4. So I'm going under the assumption now. This is me assuming. We'll confirm it in the future. I'll confirm it in the comments, or I'll confirm it in a future video, that when you do this, you're actually running a balanced amplifier into a balanced set of Koss, which again is a fucking magical thing. And as soon as you can get your actual add-on cables, and I'm going to get a fucking crazy heart cable with a crazy fucking thing, it won't have any microphone, but fuck it. So now I'm going to compare these two by listening to them, and then I'll be able to tell you if there is an actual sound difference between the PortaPro's driver and the KPH40's driver. So, first, turns out the mounting system for the KSC75s is the same that they're using on the new stuff. So I literally just made a utility set of KSC75s. They aren't marked in the drivers though, so be careful you don't plug the left and right in. So yeah, no, I've now, if you have KSC75s, I'll link them, and you can spend $15 to get these, and then you could do the ear clip thing. And now I have utility wire and amazing, like, because these are the drivers from the, all right, so I don't know if it's confirmation bias or if there's a legitimate difference, or the fact that I didn't burn in these nearly as much as I burned in the set I'm listening to. But I think the standard drivers in the KPH40 sound just better. Just overall sounds more lively, creamier, wider. There's some very focused sound coming from the ones off of the PortaPros, and I'm trying to get an answer back from the guy I know that knows about this to say, is there a different driver tuning? Because I used the PortaPros, but I didn't like them as much as I like the 40Is, and I wasn't, or the 40s. Fucking, they need to add an I. Because I don't like the hold and how that holds my head as much as I like this super lightweight thing. So by putting them both in the exact same structure, by the way, these feel great around your neck, in case you're wondering. There's under your head, like you have full mobility with them. It's been so long since I've had a headphone I could just drop around my neck and be fine with. These are definitely coming on the airplane with me. But yeah, I think I'm liking the sound of this black pod from the 40s better. Again, it could be break-in. It could be my mental breakdown, because I'm like, no, but these sound better than those, because I tried those, and I realized, I don't know, I'd have to blind test. I'd have to break these in both at the exact same amount of hours and blind test. But for now, we're just going to say they both sound fucking great. The PortaPros don't sound bad, by no means. I just not sure if they're exactly the same sound as these. And now that I have these, which sound like these, but don't have a headband. Oh, I'm sure people are wondering, like, well, Zeos, isn't that a very thin metal headband? Isn't that going to be fucking hyper uncomfortable? It's not uncomfortable. There is this problem where if I hold these and I bounce it, you can see it bounces like a solid inch, because that's what the twisting of the socket accounts for. So when you put them on your head, you can sort of rock it back and forth without them moving on your ears. And if you don't have the headband set perfectly, you may notice that, because the clamp is enough to keep it sort of hovering a little bit above your head, and it might slide. And if it's pushed down into your head, well, it's a strip of metal, and you don't want to have that happen. No matter how beautiful you are, no one wants a strip of metal. But comfort, the amazing part is there's no concern for comfort. There's no padding. It's just a metal strip, and it's perfect. Because they weigh, nothing. They actually weigh, you know what? I should get my actual scale out. I need a very, very accurate scale, because that's like twice as heavy as this. It's an improvement all over. I have to do the IEMs now. Now that I've made actually they would be KSC40s, I think, just to confuse the shit out of people. And by the way, with these, you can adjust and bend this to perfectly match the shape of your ear. And then I was like, that system seems familiar. And sure as shit, popped them off. These are the big Yaxi pads. I don't think I would put those on. Just leave them just like this. And now I have the utility wire. So I think I've sold you on the 40s. I think if you like the PortaPros more than the KPH30Is, I think you're still going to buy PortaPros, and you're going to be fucking great for doing it. Now we have to look at these, because IEMs tend to get a little bit more iffy when we talk about costs. And from the 15 minutes I've used these, get ready for some bass. Okay, so when I first tested these Krebstar90s, which if you've watched Pete and Pete, the Adventures of Pete and Pete, Kreb was a thing, and that's KEB, but I'm going to call them the Krebstar90s. I like them. I mean, I'm using them on the Solaris, for reasons. But yeah, no, I went from the silicone tips to the foam tips, which you'd think would maybe make them more bassy, but it actually makes it all level out. And I like them a lot. I got the prices. We did this review long enough that I actually got prices back. There's some definite low end on there. I'm using this to preamp the Musician Andromeda. All right, according to my guy here, KPH40, $40. I know, it just makes perfect sense. It's $10 more. It's newer than the original KPH30s, which were 30. Now they're 40s, and they're 40. I blocked the light and got real dim because it's trying to adjust. Thinks I'm in bed. The PortaPros are 50 because it's a more complicated headband and it comes with a bag. The cords, and here's the part that was like, all right, I guess. These are $45 a piece. But that's only if you buy them completely separately after you get the units. If you bundle them, these will be like 50% off, which makes much more sense because they all come with 3.5mm wires. Here's the 3.5mm wire, which I'm also going to give you all this warning right now because these wires shouldn't really exist too much. I have this end plugged into an amp, and that's exposed metal with all the power coming from there into into nothingness. Which means don't go leaving this on a metal shelf or on your amplifier. That'll ground it out. That's bad. So if you're going to have it plugged into an amp, it's got to be sitting on a table, touching nothing, or plugged into the headphone, or not plugged into the amp. That's the only warning I'll give you. Anything else? Each one comes with that. This comes with a pouch. PortaPro comes with a pouch. Yes. All right. So basically, price are $40, $50, $69. So since these are actual money and not just like cheap cost stuff, I think that's why they sound good. Not because they're expensive, but because they actually sound good. When here's the tips they come with. I'm still wearing them, by the way. I'll show them to you in a second. I was like smitten because small, medium, large all come in with a red or blue side, which you actually cannot see. Actually, you can see a little bit. You can see a little bit into the nozzle. I actually had to use 2 large, even though I usually use medium and large, because the large isn't quite large. So you may have to still search for Dekoni tips or something. But I'm using both large foam tips, and they fit. And it sounds lovely. I'm going to take it out of here. In fact, I'm going to take it off of analog and all these crappy amplifiers. And let's put it back to the built-in amplifier in this, which also this is outputting from the USB-C. Just saying, you might want to be careful what you're plugged into, buddies. Play that, play this. Next track. These definitely have, these are a V-shaped IEM. They're $70, so they're not like super duper cheap. They're not Quarks. The Quarks probably are a better buy than this, but if you're going into the cost, if you're going to get the wire, this is it. You get this IEM too, because it's super small. Here are the actual foam tips. It weighs, these are probably lighter than the Quarks. I don't know how that's possible, but they're like a thin aluminum with a vent hole in the back, and they say KEB90 utility on the back of it. And then it says 10 to 25,000 hertz, 16 ohm. I think a lot of the reason for these being $44 is they're actually using probably decent DAC amp chips in it. Because I'm not like, oh shit, I'm using that stupid USB driver on, my new favorite fucking headphones of all time. It sounds solidly fucking amazing against the wind. But now, one last thing that he said. He says the tunings might differ slightly between the drivers in the PortaPro and the drivers in the KPH40. So I'm not hearing things. There is a difference. I don't know what that difference is, but they sound a little bit closer. Like the actual PortaPro sounded like closer, a little more aggressive and less laid back, probably by design. It makes sense to not make the exact same headphones sound exactly the same and then just put different stuff on them and make that one $10 more. So they're doing something with that. It's not my imagination. This goes back to, where the fuck do the IEMs go? It's interesting having IEMs that are just, oh, by the way, jank fest in this wire, which is also a ribbon cable, all ribbons. If Koss has done nothing to improve everyone's life but include ribbons on everything, I'm fucking down for it. I just wish that they didn't jankify the ones that are actually for the IEMs. These would have been nice to be spooled and not, I don't know, what is that? The pentagram? Are we fucking summoning the devil? Plug that back in. They're almost too light. Like, it's another thing. It's like, I think they're just a single dynamic. I don't think they're doing anything fancy. In fact, I don't even think they say what they are. Because Koss is not the company you go for when you look about IEMs. But they do indeed fucking work and sound pretty damn good. There's your left and right indicators. You can see they're on an angle. You just shove them in your ears. And this is how I know they didn't put DSP correction in the amp, because it would be applying it to everything you plug it into. My home against the wind. You know, I could see using these. $70 comes with a standard cable. If you can get them both for $75, $80, yeah, I'd jump on these. But we're getting near that $100 price mark if you're going for this sort of fucking cabling shit. So there's a lot of really good IEMs at $100. Yeah, definitely V-shaped. Next jack. And I don't hate them. That's the best I can give you with the IEMs. But now, taking these out of my ear holes. Come over here, Krebstars. I'm back to either the 40s or the KSE 40s, which I've now created. Which I have to switch this back up so it's not on that. I have to sound demo them now. Sound demos are on a different channel, and I want to get this video ready and scheduled to go as soon as the Amazon page is live. According to my contact at Koss, there's not many, and it takes a long time for shipping containers to come from China. Actually, what does it say? Made in China, printed in China. Everything's very, very Koss, the best Chinese brand I've ever heard. But yeah, no, $40 to sound, because it isn't just the comfort. It's the comfort improvement would have been enough. The build quality improvement, because I mean, I like the way that the 30s, people have had issues with these breaking, but I've chucked them around, and I've never been able to get this to separate. Some people are assholes. You all know this, right? Some people, the people who constantly break their headphones, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I've had 2 million headphones, and maybe I don't use them every day, but the ones I did use every day only broke after like 8 years of constant use. It was just a wear. There are people who get headphones like, oh, every IEM I get lasts 4 weeks, and then the wires rip apart and the drivers break. Like, stop abusing your shit. Treat the thing with respect. Treat it like a delicate piece of equipment, which is what they all are, and it'll live. And some people just, you know, eat peanut butter with their hands straight out of the fucking thing, just smear it in their face. And I can't help you. But at least I think this would probably survive. When I did the unboxing, which definitely will I'll try to get the unboxing out actually real soon too, because people don't like it when the unboxing comes out later. I just took the pair that I unboxed and I fucking flung them into the wall across the room. Because you fucking break this. How you gonna destroy a fucking piece of metal with some plastic in it? The worst thing you could do is if it detaches from the little cup holder here, is that gets worn out and it pops out. There's no other moving parts. It's just, it slides metal on metal with a plastic fucking rivet. Essentially, it's a giant plastic slide rivet. And the wires are pretty fucking solid. Way better than way better than these. Fuck these wires. I hate them. These are way better. And they sound like the price to performance ratio is absurd. Like I'm looking at like, you know, Klipsch HP3s, and it's like those are $1,100, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. These might outdo you just for like straight up plug them in and listen and enjoy it. But that could just be me. Dancing in the dark. This is play me off with the song. Also, you know they don't leak too much. If I'm wearing them, whatever you're hearing, this is playing loudly. Right now, Bruce Springsteen is playing so loud I can't hear my own voice. And they're not leaking much because the drivers are so small and so close. It's just, they sound loud without being like giant open planar loud. So I've used KPH30Is, which actually, if you look, there's the vents for there, but they're behind the driver. So there's a driver in the driver. But I've used these on planes, and I literally will ask the person next to me, excuse me, is this bothering you? And they're like, is it even playing? And I'm like, great. Yeah, no, these are the best price to performance headphones that have ever existed, and they're going to sell out immediately, and probably to my patrons, although I think patrons, if you're watching this, I'm probably going to drop this video public like the day after it comes in stock. So you guys will have like a day to buy them from watch. If you're watching this, you can click the link. It probably won't be there because I'm trying to get out as fast. And then it's going to drop public. And let's see if Zeos can claim every sale for the new KPH40s and PortaPro utilities and a couple from the Krebstar90s. Did you describe the sound good enough, Zeos? I don't think I fucking need to for $40. You're going to get them. You're going to try them. And then you're going to tell your friends to try them. And then they're going to get them. And it's going to be like a fucking virus. Coronavirus is not going to spread as fast as the love of KPH40s. It's going to be a direct, listen to this, holy shit, buy 2, listen to this, give one to your friend, listen to the, oh my God, 4 turns to 8, turns to 16, turns to 32. After like a week, 60 million people are going to want KPH40s. It's just going to happen that fast. God. And they take so much abuse too. Oh God, no. That was loud. What else can I plug into here? The Burson that's... And they sound different from there to there to there. I actually really like them on the end of my channel. Just by KPH40s. The 30Is that have been sitting there in the dead center of my fucking converging headphone wall is KPH30s non-clear. And I was going to swap them out for clear, but I'm like, that's a waste of a clear. And now I'm just going to leave those there because I wouldn't put a set of 40s there. Because if I have an extra set of 40s I'm not pulling out, I'm giving them to someone to be like, hey, you know what you need? Good fucking audio. And that's good fucking audio. That wallpaper in the description. Links to as much of this shit that I can find on Amazon that actually has its own page in the description. Links to fucking, I don't know, puppy slippers in the description. Haha, Zeos has to look up puppy slippers and it'll be in his history forever. No one can do more damage to my search history than Pasta has for the unboxing channel for her P-Links. Nobody. Anyway, like I said, download her in the description. Patreon and Subscribe Star to see these reviews early. This is an important one to see early. If you're watching this as a patron or a Subscribe Star subscriber, you have the buy button fucking saved to your desktop. And it's just being auto-clicked. And it's like, it's not in stock. It says not in stock. It's not in stock. It's in stock. You own one. Okay, everyone else is fucking fucked. So see reviews early. Participate in yard sales, which I don't think any of this stuff, although maybe the KEBs, the Krebstars, maybe those I would just throw in there and include wires and be like, hey, what do you wire you want? Just because, you know, Koss will send me infinite these things for free, which doesn't affect my review. But if I can get these things into the hands of people who need them for like $1, I'll do so. So see reviews early, participate in yard sales, access to the Sound Demo Oasis channel, which if it's live, you can go to and get the raw uncompressed audio for modern sound demos, and also listen to the sound demos that have been removed from YouTube. And then there's a $10 chat. I had to change the battery, by the way, in case you haven't figured it out. $10 chat where you could ask me any questions you'd like, and you could well, that's really, ask me any questions you like. Get into the Swap Meet channel where you can buy and sell your gear. And that's a lifetime join when you get in the Swap Meet channel. And then we could just discuss, you know, run the jewels and how those are a thing. And they're getting pictures of this shit immediately. They can get the wallpaper immediately. They can get, maybe I'll sell, should I put the KPH75s in here? Oh shit. And then I got to return I don't know what to do with these now. I'm going to return these to stock. But yeah, no, thank you for stopping by. And check out Hi-Fi Guides, the Hi-Fi Guides forum. We're going to be putting ads up on there soon. If you want to advertise on Hi-Fi Guides, there will be a contact email on the site. And you can message us for rates and stuff, hopefully. I'm done with that. I think I'm done with that. And I'm probably done with all that. And I will see you on the Sound Demo channel or in 2 days for a new review. Goodbye. If you want to know how serious this is, I'll be giving away all the other Koss KPH30Is I had for every item in the yard sale in December. I forgot about the bag for the IEMs.